another dompre fan who says silly woman.
I'm sure for Ztv, we said that I'm in the firm master. Nene, Parliament, when you say, what to say, another dompre air trainee or a lawyer. I'm a Osabrama boy, we didn't see.
May I say, Polo, dear, it's here, Parliament. Now, Omoko, I said, na ye veteran, Honsen Semia, Anna, Oliver Baka, I can say, Parliament, or more. Ampo mo vetting crofoi bebrena mo nyina no munyina emposo o munyina ampo okotwere edeto eye ne wo say o bebrena e wo no katasehye ene proye ahye mo ma so mo na vetting crofo ena parliament yes ne side o so mo ton side from nti no one no mo deliberate so o mo deliberate na no na ne ejo mo call break no on the floor of the yina no ana ene eye Victoria MFA head castle or could be an can say micro minority. They said the apostle of parliament. Yeah, a giant DC for EB, MPP for EB micro minority. And I want to make say parliament. We have nothing like micro minority.
Exactly.
It is either you are majority or you are minority. There is nothing like
independent.
Yes.
Okay.
There is nothing, even we don't even have independence. Even if you are an independent you should join a caucus. You can either choose to join the majority caucus or the minority caucus. So as it stands now, we don't even have an independent our parliament. So all the parliamentarians, our more independence, our more the three of them, they all have a caucus to join.
Okay.
So A plus or no joining NDC caucus no and the rest of them no omunyina metrics omunyina kwa joining NDC caucus so what I say enti parliament ye ni micro minority and answer minority it's either we have a minority or a majority so what I say we don't have a micro minority and then we have a majority and then we have a minority no. It is either you are majority or minority. So, I'm saying, okay, parliament, I shall share Krampuna. Some of the parliamentarians, be can seminar be fine. Say, MPP for they say over where in 88, they don't even qualify to be called majority. Minority. Rather, they are called one minority. Emma can ask them say no. Nikwasi free will be a micro minority. What do you say?
Yeah.
Enti MFA eco free MPP for so minority micro minority and another pretty no say hey enye na ya hye samra ne say ye ni obia your friend micro minority bia wa say so it is either we have a majority or minority so we don't have a micro minority we are minority we are not micro majority but if you persist so be friend me micro minority there then I will take you on.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I
said, I want to share lawyer MFA say.
I want to MFA say you take me on. You can't intimidate me. Listen, same baby. Anna MFA church match right in Crawford. There was a banter. Can't come some bia. And the MFA church match right in Crawford. I said I can't say isn't it that silly? Okay, right. Yeah. So using the word silly, that was the unfortunate word I free. MFA by.
But also one money deal.
And I was so money deal, but whom were you talking with?
Okay.
Then can't I say, why ain't you? Meno anya sem ye kasa. Now for the make me check my job. Isn't that silly boy? Now isn't that silly polo? Excuse me for my language. And till one me can't just say men kasa and one I say me move with here. Do you understand? You may not I may not mention your name. But with the guests, of course, I didn't know everything shows that yes, of course, I mentioned your name.
But Ghana for the fan support lawyer MFA I no or the country another training.
Oh, it is only
recently another pray car say Mahama a case.
It is only few. Now listen, we have this word: two wrongs don't make a right. Obi fum kuma yemfumunga. Them can't imagine. So far as Obi disrespect Obi doesn't show. It doesn't mean say once you should disrespect somebody. What they say? Oh, so Anna Kofoka say me say I say oh jare. Nobody mean be you tau. na say wo tum rika di bodemi na chi, woni bodemi ho na aboda. Wo di nakedness edim rika edi bodemi na chi so won fa wota ma woni mienu ho na mad. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So, as Obi, we have so many instances and for disrespecting Grofo Bibri. But it doesn't mean so Obi disrespect to Obi, also so disrespect to Obi.
But at least for you to say president is a case there.
And don't forget, sir, in our country, for you to say the president is a case. Now listen, there are so many instances we've heard a lot about the NDCs. As NDCs be, and so Ekasa say Akufo-Addo is a curse to the nation. Akufo-Addo, do you understand? Yeah. A whole lot of words were spoken against Akufo-Addo when he was a president. Please, do you understand what I'm talking about? Like I was saying, 2 wrongs doesn't make a right, but it doesn't mean say I was saying also retaliating the same thing to I can't say His Excellency the President. You know, Ghana, the way we treat our president and stuff, and me, I keep on saying that it is very wrong. We speak ill about them, anything. You can't be behind the fire. It is very wrong. But let us not also forget, say, we live in a country where respect is always demanded.
Yeah, very true.
Let me count myself. Not to look down on women, but in the country where we find ourselves, and I say in our continent, Africa continent, we demand a certain amount of respect from women. Do you understand? And as always, no matter how rich you are, where you are, no matter your position, we expect you say your husband must be respected, and then your husband then represent every man.
Even another prayer could do parliament no or say
yes.
Lawyer
yes. Yes. So as I say, so it was very unfortunate from MFA. So Becca Sansem we say, Sabi she's a woman. Senka or no naka Sansem no ka I'm not dompre fan who says silly woman. And I say, excuse me for my language. And I say, oh, you use some of these insulting words on her. Can you see women attacking another dompre? Okay. What do you say? I say, your mama, yes, in our continent. You know, we live in a country where always ladies play victims.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm talking about? They always play victims. Meanwhile, also, then we want to sweep it under the carpet.
But I can tell you, I can't go another press. Obaka, as some cacre children, I say, oh, dear, how now? I could jump parliament, a customer blade.
Kevin Taylor. For that man, I don't take his words for serious. Me, Kevin Taylor, Kenny Jonas, these people, they have nothing better to say than always to insult. That's what they do. Them can't matter. So me,
sometimes no kind of crime, but just by
Kevin Taylor. No crime and Kevin Taylor. No crime and Kevin Taylor. I mean, you are here. We now ask Kevin Taylor come Jina and there you subo dede. I say, oh, Encrophobia the gold Janani and the acquire PMC for I can't a company BPMs for Omugo bar and Omodi to Omuka say you're buying it. You see,
former president.
You see, you understand what I'm talking about. Yeah. So Kevin Taylor no Creben or Khan no. So I mean these people now on when inside the only attempt the him pong yana now 248 to attempt. Then I mean these people I don't take them serious. I mean they are only mad dogs that backs always. Them can't say. But let's talk about Obia. Kevin Taylor, Kenny Jonas. These people were not there. Almost they have nothing better to offer, but always to be insulting. Who are some pack and win the
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Very true.
Yes. So now let's talk about the issue. Back to the issue. It's very unfortunate. Samna MFA Eka Edifa Onabo another prayer one day. Honestly, you may be joking with the micro minority, like say okay video no more can say one kasa where you crambuka Afeyno Markin or can what you say. I mean sometimes this parliamentary we know that you cannot be serious always. Sometimes you make some certain comments to play. What I say you may be playing, but going to an extent of calling a man, not even a man, a colleague in politics silly is very unfortunate, and it must be condemned. Yes, or your penny, and you can say the sooner may be there. Now, youth now urban, okay, but the ending Kurana urban. We are looking out to them.
Very true, very true.
Them can't matter. Now, watching, and then she may be, I will not even say she may be, she is, of course she is. All the parliamentarians, all the politicians, the MPs, the CEOs, any I didn't, you know, she's a CEO. Don't forget that. What does it to Petrol Commission?
Yeah.
What does the acting CEO to the Petrol Commission? And trust me, a lot of people are more looking up to her. What am I saying? Young be mentors. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So seeing your mentor insulted on television, what will you do? I mean, what will you become in future?
Lawyer from who say camera systems name maybe your car say one money dinana.
Yes, you see, Nana who say they were filming.
Why emotional?
Yes, no said they were filming. Okay. So after sending any ban who say, hey, media for I say cameras now this say, you know, that was when and Becca say, am I talking to you? Yeah. Are you silly? Are you called silly?
But I said no press will be taking on.
Yeah, so now we are waiting. And in terms of main chamber. But I don't know what will happen in future. But I know say yes, she must be talked to. Now it's not everything that you should voice out as a parliamentarian or as a CEO or as a politician. Somebody a show. It's not everything that you should say. Then can't say, yes. You see, no matter how you'll be provoked, you should be very careful with your language. That is the difference between Mwani Nipa. Mwani Nipa, no, one difference is the major difference is Nipa to me control emotions.
Very true.
But Mwani to me control emotions. Abwani the best in Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you Nipa there, that it is expected that you should control your emotions no matter how you'll be provoked. We are talking. Yeah, can want some and they say, "Oh, friend, me micro minority." And I'm saying, no, don't call me micro minority. I will take you on. So you should rather talk about the issue at stake.
Yeah.
What we are talking about, the talking point, what we are talking about, and not any actual one. I will take you on. You can take me on. Then we see if so, better take you on. But going further, say, oh, you are attacking the personality. Do you understand? You are attacking the personality. Like I said, true wrong doesn't make it right. So far as we did Kufuado attending chess also could the Obiata.
But as a Ghana for the family, Biania just said, my shabo, honorable.
And you will be on in the Niaji. Them can't answer, and you will be on the Niaji. You movie, I comment baby on social media. Oh, you movie. I a free baby, I say, you know. Menkasay and the two more worker, but I mean, you should understand. What they say, you need John. Irrespective of your political affiliations, this then must be condemned. Yes, it must be condemned. It must be condemned. Polo.
Yeah, I'm listening.
And you nipa.
Yeah, very true.
And you bibia, and I can't once MP. And you bibia, and I'll be such a one where the dear temple only are there. Then we cannot say, oh, your bow, baby, and care, Sabema Chaba Ba, Bema will do about and your friends were Bema Kotobunkumo said, yea, but as in the Ninte. Do you understand? That is what the ladies term that matters. No, bounce who did Bema Temwe. It is an insulting word. I attempted you
for even saying that silly alone.
Yes, that word alone. What does it? Okajan say, or can't quasi asem. Sabi. Obetina catch up Professor Okan Kwasiase. Obetina catch Okuniso Okan Kwasiase. And then MFA can never stand before her husband and say that, isn't it that silly person? Do you understand? And I say, or Kasa Abi Obakachi Nikunzo Okan Kwasiase. Obi Kwasiane Kan Kwasiase. Obi Yansani Kan Yansasem. So if you tell me some Kan Kwasiase, indirectly you are insulting.
Very true. Very true.
So what do I say? Very Sadia when I'm say, so want to mean can't be in Chidewukuna. Remember, you have a husband. Before you voice out a word to a man, ask yourself, can I say this word to my husband?
Okay.
If you can say this word to your husband, then you should go ahead. So then it tells Sibia Usitie, Ewofie, sending you Kunblan Fanning. Do you understand? Yes. Me, before I deal with any lady, before I voice out a word to any lady, I ask myself, this word that I'm voicing out, can I say this to my wife? Do you understand? Before I take any action, I ask myself, this action that I'm taking, can I take the same action to my wife? Okay. If I can't, then I need not to continue with the action, or I need not to proceed at all. Then I can't imagine, because we live in a country where certain amount of respects are demanded from authority and are demanded from subordinates.
Okay.
So that's it. Sir, me wo maimwa I was semi booming penning for.
But as more okay, winter come here as a group politics are sometimes some kind of words if you feel manubano and then
Africans are yet to understand what we call democracy. I keep on saying this. And then that so-called freedom of speech. You see, people who doesn't understand this word, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech doesn't mean that you should be insulting people, go about insulting people, saying ill things about people. Freedom of speech, and yes, do you understand? Okay. Freedom of speech, doesn't mean that you should use abusive words to some people. Yes. I mean, we can do politics without insult. Speak to issues. Do you understand? Okay. Speak to actions. So far as I'm NDC, NDC. Do you understand? So far as I'm MPP, I should talk against the MPP. I should rather speak to issues. Do you understand? We speak to issues. And see, some of the media guys need to want somebody like Metro TV, Paul Archer. I love this man. Paul Archer, nothing shows that Paul Archer is an NDC or an also a neutral. BBI just or MPP. Okay. But he speaks to issues, bringing out facts, speaking without insults. Captain Smart. Go about insulting people to the extent that voicing of the word. So whoever votes for MPP, they are no way Jimmy for not getting you see, saying these words, you see, it shows how uncivilized you are. If you are a civilized person, there are some certain words that you will not speak. In our media space, Polo, let me take this opportunity to say this.
Right.
It is not everybody that must be allowed to our mainstream media space. You get what I'm talking about?
Ghana,
that is very unfortunate. That is one thing in here. Am I a movie starting media? I mean, some people come to me and say, "And I want to be fire. Want to be fire." And say, "Want to be in the art."
Exactly.
That is why they want to tell us.
Exactly.
Saying to me in the art. Should I always to insult to become relevant? Should I insult to become relevant? Now, Ghana, if you want to be relevant, you should insult people, insult elders.
Yeah.
The media is very powerful.
Very true.
Ebe to me don't talk about. Salarion, just a word. Cockroach. This word, cockroach. A whole nation was turned upside down. Just for calling a tribe or a group of people cockroach. It turned a whole country upside down. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So it is not every word that should be spoken in our media space. Oh, no wonder. You see, the reason, experience I never win and say, Asumasi, Onim Kasa, or Kwe Yasia, or to me Bonsa, or Yakasa, you discuss on Monsana, or to me can ye and and when yes, Onim Kasa, on radio station and TV station. That is very unfortunate. Living out obi a washa da ko school no no nim the media law and ethics ne bibia no nkroni aba no. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You see, we have a whole lot of our media personalities omoko omenim kakra ni ade no, they don't even have a certificate. Some of them omoko, should I call it your friends say extra classes. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You see, I mean, a whole lot, there are a lot of things we need not to tolerate going forward. Where's the one my year can? We don't know who is learning from you. Now, let us not forget this. Internet, never forget.
No true.
Captain Sama said this word. Mumbo ngura hono 2023. Monko amnam hono monko pe manu aduane. 2025 down the lane. Yes, I be watch them.
But almost say asma Captain Sama obo ase dey enu atwam da.
Hey, West.
I'm say assembly assembly.
Where's our spirit? How will you know that someone can now be afraid or be a cover video na hwe? Because since you open video nya hwe. Obi afraid na cover video na hwe. It could be that no cover video no mo ahwe. To mo share no I'm motivate you. It motivated and somebody is on man. And yes all kind na no you. I mean it keep on na or take inspiration from the words how can you know. What is na it keeps on motivating the person. It's a course where motivating on later no after that later can not take action. Do you understand? You can't some chira one I said told this will be too for you one uti. I thought I would call no one say. Now one casano, what did you see and some of kind now so a yen sempa na say yen and I say boy you can be between about 3 days 4 days and maybe I was started with so what you say. So the media is very powerful. The microphone that we sit before it. Okay? Now listen. It's very powerful. And he said, I mean, you should be very careful. It's not everything that you should say. Yes. So, enti MFA me should say one brabo enti no me patch ompa and not on patch on face one sampa Ghana for you natural. Especially or mentor woman. So what I say, or ye role model. She should apologize that no, this is not MFA, this is not how I am. What am I say? This is not how I am. Maybe a dear partner, I was carried away and be a combine sani I don't mestre no function when you are manenka.
I was for Ztv and then your Saturday night, Bama, your same baby, we very good. Now, we are a was a protecting your papa. We are a do be our protection officer. In fact, we have phones, papa, tablet, laptop, beer, come on. Tell us your friend in this year. That's an